This is the Enjoy Life podcast, here to help you choose your mindset, goals, and actions so that you can guide your life in the direction that you want it to go and enjoy it. It does take a little bit of work, some effort on your part, but that effort is worth it because this is your life and you can experience the benefits of the work that you do. And this podcast is here to help. Life doesn't magically turn out exactly how you want. It's up to you to make it happen. Now, you may not have chosen to be exactly where you're at right now in your current situation, but you will choose what you do about it. If you're ready to put forth a little bit of effort, take some small steps toward living the life that you want, then you're in the right place. Let's get started. Hello there. Welcome to the Enjoy Life podcast. I'm your host, Nick Mazie, and I am thrilled that you are here. Hey, this is episode 100. Maybe you haven't been counting down to it like I have. I love it. I love that this, I'm able to keep doing this, and the fact that you listen to this podcast, it just means the world to me. I see that people download it, and that means that this podcast is a part of your life, and that's huge. I'm just so thankful for that, and I just want to say thank you to you for listening. And it means so much. I said. So now that I got that episode 100 kind of thrill out of the way, let's dive into today's episode. I'm talking about one of the simplest ways to happiness. And there's a very simple way to increase your happiness. And it doesn't take any of the things that you see on these TV ads or social media. It doesn't take any of the things that they tell you that it takes. And in fact, this time of year, they're going to tell you a billion things that you need and that everybody else needs in order to improve their lives and to be happy. In fact, listening to those advertisements tell you what you might need for happiness is probably going to end up giving you the exact opposite. Focusing on all that stuff isn't going to lead to your happiness. In fact, you get more happiness by giving to somebody else rather than getting. And this, time of year focused on material stuff, kind of shifts away from real happiness. This is Christmas time. This is a time of giving. So of course, I want to talk about giving, but it's more than Christmas. Kind of Christmas is a big thing, and I get that. I cherish this time. I'm not trying to take away any bit from Christmas. It's just a good thing to give to other people and to try to help other people. And if Christmas is a good excuse to do more of that, awesome. Do more of that. But being the Enjoy Life podcast, clearly, I want to talk about you and your happiness and just taking the time and effort and intention to give to other people just for the sake of giving. It is huge. For your own happiness, for your own enjoyment, for your own life. It can be some sort of big, grand gesture, but it doesn't have to be. It's doing something small for somebody else, a small gift, a small act of kindness, a small stepping out of your own in your own life to benefit somebody else. It does amazing things for your happiness. I remember learning about these studies while I was in school, and about just requiring people to do something for somebody else. And then they ended up reporting being a little bit happier. And it doesn't have to be some sort of huge thing that takes a lot of effort and it takes a lot from you to be able to give. And giving has this amazing ability to shift our mindset. It shifts it away from us just a little bit and just enough to impact our mindsets and how we feel and our happiness. By focusing on other people, and that's what giving does. Giving requires us to focus on other people just a little bit. It does amazing things. When we're focused on ourselves and what we're getting in our lives, it can be easy to get wrapped up in all of that stuff and not really enjoy our lives as much as we could if we stepped out just a little bit to focus on others. And when we do that, when we give and focus on other people, we end up seeing the abundance that we have in our lives. Focusing on ourselves too much, for a little bit of that natural human tendency, a lot of times we end up thinking about what we don't have, what we're missing out on, what we're lacking. And focusing on that and seeing that, what we focus on grows. So the more you see that, the bigger it becomes, and the less you enjoy life, the more it's what I'm missing out on, not seeing the abundance in our lives. Just a few episodes ago, right before Thanksgiving, is when I was talking about, being thankful. Good time for that episode. I was talking about being thankful and that how so many of us actually have so much stuff. And it's just about shifting our perspective, and looking at what we do have. Well, and giving to other people kind of helps with that. It helps shift to see the abundance that we do have in our lives and to appreciate what we have. It's a good way to do that. And it's a funny thing. Sometimes giving things away, or giving our time, attention, and effort, and energy, giving away actually helps us appreciate what we do have. It doesn't mean that you have to give everything away. Nothing wrong with that. It says that in the Bible, but simple fact that, giving some helps us appreciate what we do have. So it's kind of self-serving a little bit. We're getting by giving, but at the same time, it helps somebody else. And that's awesome. You can feel good about that. On a big grand gesture or a very small thing, helping somebody else is a good thing. You're benefiting somebody else's life. That might be the difference that they need. And that might actually help them appreciate life a little bit more and then turn around and help somebody else out. It doesn't have to be huge. Imagine this. What if everybody stepped out of their zone just a little bit, out of the focus on their life just a little bit, to help somebody else out just a little bit? That's huge. It builds and it builds. But for that moment in time in that person's life that you're touching, you could help somebody else out. It's a great thing. You're creating value. Just out of a little bit of effort, you create value in the world and in somebody else. It's an amazing thing. It does help your own happiness. It helps you enjoy life more by giving. And it also helps somebody else. It helps the world. Give just to give. Now, all this giving, it is about just giving. And that's why sometimes it's nice for it not to be some sort of huge gesture. When it is something really big, sometimes there's a little bit of a tendency in our minds, or if you're anything like me, so there's a little bit of a tendency to, what am I going to get? And that defeats a lot of the purpose of giving. It doesn't help the happiness. It doesn't. It's not in the spirit of giving. But when you give something small, and it's easier just to give it, and it still has a lot of that same value. The grand gestures, are amazing things too. I'm not saying don't do them. But to help your happiness, to help you enjoy life more, to help somebody else out, just to appreciate, some of the goodness in life, and there is still good in people, to do all that and to help shift your mindset to what you do have in the abundance and to appreciate. Give just to give. You can do this by something that can't give back to you, or you can do this by just giving something that you think somebody else might like and to help them out a little bit. Give just to give. And well, this is the season of giving, so it makes it a good excuse or a good reason, on top of some of the ones that I talked about, one of the simplest ways to improve your happiness is giving. And try to give just to give. I know Christmas is next week, so if you need a excuse to give, that's a good one. I'll tell you again next week, but Merry Christmas. Thank you for listening to this podcast. Thank you for allowing it to be a part of your life. Thank you for allowing me into that. Hopefully, since this is free, hopefully it can be kind of a gift to you. But really, you listening to us and taking time to hear what I have to say, that's a big gift to me, and I really appreciate that. If you like this material, please subscribe. That way you don't miss anything. And if you'd like to give back a little bit more, you can always rate and review this podcast or like the Facebook page. Those are great ways to help more people to find it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being you and doing the things in your life to improve it so that it can be more how you want it to be. And thank you for giving to other people. All right. Thanks for listening, and take care.